Well, we just got done filming RV Unplugged Season 2, and our rig, Eleanor,
she needs a little love.
She needs some love. I mean, we really pushed her to the test when it comes to dirt, grime. It's a little bit gross in there. So thankfully, Matt from Matt's RV Reviews has left his Alliance Delta on the premises to get some solar installation done. So while he's here, I know that our friend would want us to just kind of wait out like the cleaning process of Eleanor in his rig. Okay, so let's head inside. Hey, I'm Rachel.
And I'm Joe.
And we are two
crazy
campers.
After losing a combined weight of more than 200 pounds.
We realized we had so much more energy for activities.
Come along with us as we explore the great outdoors.
And join us on a brand new adventure. I gotta tell you, Joe, we are inside of Matt from Matt's RV Reviews, his travel trailer, not named Eleanor, but makes us feel right at home. So much so that we decided to come on inside of his home and stay a while.
Yeah, so evidently Matt is on a cruise.
Yeah.
And so we just finished wrapping up, you know, season 2 of RV Unplugged. And Matt's RV has been up here the entire week because it's been getting some solar install. And as a matter of fact, I don't even think that they've had an opportunity to use this RV. And so I wanted to be able to come inside. We actually, when we were at the Florida RV Super Show, we did a walkthrough. Matt has one of the very first, as a matter of fact, this is a custom unit. This is the Delta, or the Alliance Delta 262 RB. So it's the same exact layout that we have in our grand design. But Alliance has done some amazing improvements. And again, we have a review video. I will put that walkthrough right up here. But I just thought, like, why not come over here and chill a little bit in Matt's rig? Also, I wanted to walk you through some of the solar install because, again, we did the installation on our own rig. However, a lot of people, like, maybe they're afraid to do solar installs or battery upgrades.
And rightfully so.
So I figured, let's go ahead and show you everything that's done in here. And as a matter of fact, Derek is here still. He's got his RV over here, which has, like, just an amazing system.
Woo.
So I'm going to go grab him and see if he'll come over and kind of explain everything he did in here. So while we're up here taking a look at Matt's RV, it's actually up here because Derek from CCRV is doing a complete solar installation, and you all know how much I love solar and having lots of battery power on here. So I figured this would be a good opportunity for Derek to show you everything that he installed in here, because I do know that he used the Big Beard batteries. Yep. So Derek, do you want to go ahead and explain a little bit about what you put in here, and then we'll kind of go around and you can show us everything?
Yeah, I mean, this has actually got a pretty big system for this little 24-foot RV. I think that's what it is, 24. So it's got 840 amp hours of Big Beard batteries, so that's between 3 batteries. Then we put a 3,000 watt multi-plus 2 in by Victron. And on the roof there's 1,200 watts of solar, which goes to an 85 amp Victron solar controller.
Okay, so why don't we start off, you can show us the batteries, and also I'd love you to tell people what makes the Big Beard batteries so good.
So this is where we put the batteries. Everything else is on the other side of the wall, but the batteries we put here. So I mean, the nicest thing about these batteries are just the size for one. I mean,
wow,
to put 840 amp hours of Battleborns in here, that would eat up most of this bed space. I don't even think you would get 8 100 amp hour ones in here. If you use their Game Changers, you would. But so the size is really nice. And then the discharge rate of each battery is high. I mean, you can actually start and run an air conditioner off in one of these batteries, which most other brands you cannot do.
Now, what about the BMS on these?
Yeah, and this actually has where you can connect to it through Bluetooth, and then you can see each individual cell, so you can see what the voltage is, and then it's got an active balance, so the cells are always balancing each other, so they're never off by more than a few hundredths of a volt, which is pretty much nothing. And then, you know, if a cell was to go bad, you can actually open up this battery, we can remove the cell and replace it. Same thing with the BMS, which a lot of other battery brands you can't do that.
Yeah, they seal them in, you got to cut them with a welding cutter, and so that's great that you can disassemble these.
Yep, and these come with an 11-year warranty, which honestly is the best on the market. Most are 10 or less.
Now, do you have a T, is that a T-fuse there?
This is actually an A&L fuse. That's here. It's a 400 amp one.
Oh, nice. So plenty of protection in the system that you're installing in there.
Right. That'd be the catastrophic fuse, and then there's other fuses on the other side of the wall. So this is just your main catastrophic fuse here.
So let's go ahead and we'll head out to the bay and we'll see where the whole installation is. Because one of the things is, and the reason why I put the system in my RV that I have is because I didn't want to lose all of my bay. And what Derek put into the bay of this is amazing. And the cool thing about the Alliance Delta is you have a giant bay. So even when you go in there and put your entire inverter system in there, you're not losing most of your space, which you will lose in a smaller trailer, as well as if you put some of the bigger, larger systems. So Derek did a great job maintaining the space in there, but also giving plenty of power so that you can take this RV off grid.
So I mean, this is your multi plus 2. So for a 50 amp RV, you either got to do a single multi plus 2 or you got to do a dual inverter setup because of the 2 legs of the panel. So this will service both legs of the breaker panel box, meaning everything has power from this inverter. That doesn't mean you can run everything all at the same time, but you do have the option to run either or of the air conditioners, microwave, all the outlets. Everything will have power from that. This is the 12 volt distribution, so from the batteries it comes through the wall here. This is your cutoff switch. You got your shunt over here that provides battery percentage and stuff, and then this is just like a fancy bus bar, so it's got positive and negative in there. And then there's fuse holders for each positive line, which is certainly something you want. Up here you got the solar controller, so all the solar panels on the roof, 1200 watts. There's 6 200 watt panels up there. They all come down to this, and then that powers the system. It charges the batteries, but it'll also just get directly flow to the inverter, if that's where it goes.
And now I assume this is your solar disconnect there?
This is the main battery disconnect. So okay. Over there on the wall used to be your factory battery disconnect. Essentially this takes the place of that.
Okay.
That switch isn't heavy enough to handle all the load. So if you were to shut the system down, this is where you would do it from.
Okay, and then what are these breakers up here?
And these are your solar breakers.
Okay.
So the foul code, there's supposed to be a breaker on positive and negative, so that's why there's 2, so positive and negative.
So now you just disconnect that battery switch over there completely?
Well, that still functions, rather than just ripping it out and having a hole there and stuff. I mean, that still functions, but it would be just something you would just leave on all the time. Okay. But if you did shut that off, it will kill power to the RV still. But it won't kill power to the inverter, and it's not going to be like your main battery disconnect anymore like it used to be.
Now, with this Victron Energy here, is that handling all your 12 volt and your 120, or is it just handling the 120?
Well, it handles your 12 volt charging, so this now is what also charges the batteries when you're plugged into shore power or a generator or something, but then it's creating all the 120 volt power either from the batteries, or even if you're plugged in, all your 120 volt power flows in and out of this. So it's not producing 12 volts short of other than just charging the batteries, essentially. It's an inverter charger.
Cool. So, Derek, tell me a little bit about the Multi-Plus and what makes it so good. I know that one of the features that's great about it is if you plug into a 30 amp, it's capable of still giving you the 50 amp coming from the batteries and the solar.
Yeah, right. I mean, they call it hybrid boost. So yeah, if you got a weak shore power connection, 15 amp or 30 amp, it'll draw the rest of the power from the batteries up to what the inverter can handle. I mean, it's, a 3,000 watt inverter. That's what everybody calls it. It's really 3,000 kVA. So it's 2,400 watts is what it can do all day long. So it can boost up to that 2,400 watts. So it depends. I mean, from 30 amp, that would get you almost to 50 amp. But if you're plugging in the 15, then you're kind of boosting up to like 35 amp or something.
And that's capable of actually running the AC in here.
Yep, right, exactly. Yep, yeah, you can definitely run an AC just from the inverter and batteries with that inverter.
Okay. Now, being South Floridians, AC is super important to us,
right?
Especially if we're going to go boondock. One of the reasons that we never really got into boondocking before being part of RV Unplugged was it's hot, and we want to be able to run our air conditioners. So, roughly, how long could somebody run their air conditioner on that system if they were boondocking?
I mean, it's somewhat of a loaded question, I mean,
yeah, you have temperature and everything else.
You got 1,200 watts of solar on the roof, so I mean, during the day, that's going to be providing power to the system. But a single air conditioner is going to burn anywhere from 1,000 watts all the way up to 2,000 watts, depending on the temperature. I mean, there's a wide range there, depending on how hot it is and stuff. So, on average, it's 1,500 watts. So, I mean, if you're getting full solar during the day, it's going to extend it. But if you were to figure it on just battery power, like not factor any solar in at all, those batteries, I mean, you'd get about 8 hours of solid air conditioning use.
So they could get through the night.
Right.
That's the biggest thing is that you have solar and you have a generator, you know, during the day to recharge them up.
Exactly.
Most of us, and that was our thing, is we tried boondocking once.
Yeah, right.
Great during the day, you have a generator, you have solar, whatever, but at night, when you got to turn that generator off, that's the important part. Can we get through the night with that air conditioner? And there's enough battery here that you can.
Right. I mean, we figure like 100 amp hours per hour, you know, and that should kind of be on the high end, because an air conditioner ideally is
going to cycle.
Right, it's going to shut off for at least a few minutes in between. So, but that's how we kind of figure it, is 100 amp hours of lithium battery for an hour of air conditioner use. So you'd want 800-ish amp hours to get through an 8-hour night.
Right.
And again, it's a loaded question. You know, I mean, there's lots of variables, but that's a generalized number.
Now, one thing I know somebody might be asking, one of the cool things about the Alliance Delta is the fact that they come factory with 2 air conditioners in all of their travel trailers, and one of their things is they say you can run both air conditioners off of 30 amps, but that is not the case with the inverter and battery, correct?
I mean, in theory, it should be close. I mean, the inverter's like 27-ish amps or something.
You'd be pushing.
Like that. You'd be pushing. You better not have anything else running.
Right.
You know, so.
But again,
I mean, that inverter would run both these air conditioners if that's really the only thing you're powering.
Right.
And the batteries are more than capable of delivering the power. The inverter can deliver the power too. It's just what else do you got going? I mean, is you got TVs and computers
and all that stuff.
Like, fridge is 12 volts, so that's not factored in at all. But you know, so yeah. And these maybe are a little more efficient. I mean, I know when I was running on the screen, I was surprised how low it was. But it was cool out, and it only run for a half hour. I fully expect when it's hot out like this and baking in the sun, it's going to burn the 12, 14, 1500 watts like everything else.
But again, if you're going to boondock, you don't need to run 2 air conditioners. Unless you have your system. Yeah. So before you tell us where everybody can find you, because you travel across the country and do installs all over the country.
Yeah,
right?
I mean, we'll always come to you. You know, if you can wait for us to get there, we'll certainly come right to your location. Or there's always the option to meet us also. Okay.
So I want you to tell everybody a little about your system, because the day we got here, before filming began for RV Unplugged, I saw Derek's rig here, and I had a man crush on this rig. We literally pulled back around, and we didn't even know who you were at the time. And I was like, oh my gosh, you've got to see this thing. I'm trying to show Rachel. The whole roof is covered with solar. Tell us a little bit about your solar system.
Yeah, so I mean, I built a rack so I could float panels over the air conditioners and everything. So I put 12 550 watt panels up there, so 6,600 watts total. Which I only know of one other RV rolling around the country that's got more watts on their roof, and they got like slide out wings and stuff. So there may be more, but there's only one that I know that's got more. And part of the reason I went so big was so that we could meet customers in boondocking locations, and I got a 30 amp shore power plug. I can provide 30 amp shore power to you, so you can also run your air conditioning from my system while I do your install. I can do the whole install with the power on. I only have to shut it off for a few hours on the last day to switch everything over. So we can meet in nice boondocking locations, whether it's Michigan in the summer, Florida in the winter, Arizona in the winter. Don't have to pay for an RV site, and you can kind of see how we boondock and also get your system installed at the same time.
How much battery power do you have in that thing?
I got a 24 volt system, so I got 960 amp hours at 24 volts, but at 12 volts that would be 1920 amp hours.
Wow.
And then I got 2 5,000 watt inverters with an auto former to load balance them. So essentially I can deliver like 8,800 watts from my inverters all day long, which means I could run 2 air conditioners. You could still run one, and I'd still have power.
Because you guys pretty much stay off grid.
Yeah, I mean, we avoid RV parks as much as possible. Not that we don't like to come to them occasionally, we just like to boondock, you know. So I mean, the only time we kind of go to RV parks is if I can't find a place to boondock that week next to that week's install. But all summer long in Michigan, we basically exclusively boondock. There's so much boondocking there where we're located there. The county's 49% state land, and you can boondock on all of it. So
that's amazing. Now I know you love the Big Beard batteries.
Yep.
And you know, you've switched over from other companies now that we have Big Beard batteries. One thing I do want to ask you is, where did you learn how to do all this stuff? Because me, I'm self-taught. I've kind of learned things here and there, and I'm still learning. But where did you learn how to do all of this?
I mean, it started with YouTube because that's where my passion started, but I instantly wanted to learn more. So that's how I met Todd and learned about NRVTA, was looking for somewhere to get formal training. So that's where I got certified in solar, and as an RV tech is down there at NRVTA in Athens, Texas.
How is it to do all of this boondocking with children, because you got little kiddos? And also, was there any convincing that you had to do for your wife to be like, hey, we're going full solar, baby, with 2 little kids.
Yeah, so I mean, we have twin babies that are about 14 months old now. So I mean, that also is why we have a big power consumption. So water conserving is a big thing with kids. So my wife is on board. She was didn't want to sell the house in the beginning. That really was what I had to convince her. I mean, she's been all about boondocking, honestly. She's not a huge fan of like staying in RV parks and having neighbors right next to us and stuff. So, but she liked the comfort of having the house. So it took a little bit to convince her to sell that. But we both love it. And as of right now, we have no plans of going back to a sticks and bricks, not until either the kids force us into it or something else in our life changes.
What is fun about raising kids on the road? Like, their backyard is much more expansive than a normal child's backyard.
Yeah, I mean, we're super excited to be raising them on the road. You know, there's all kinds of communities and be able to actually show them places rather than just learning in a textbook. I mean, we can actually take them there and show them all these different monuments and state parks and stuff. And then, I mean, there's still lots of full-time RV family groups out there where they'll be able to meet up with other kids and hang out and stuff. So we're super excited to be raising them as full-time RVers.
So if you need solar, how can they get a hold of you?
I mean, if you just search Cross Country RV Solar online, you'll find our website. The business used to be Cross Country RV Tech and Solar, but solar is my passion, so we've dropped the tech name and we're just going to focus on solar. So we have a YouTube channel also that is called Cross Country RV Tech and Solar. But if you just search the web, you'll find us. You can find our website. We have email. You can always just call me too. My number's out there.
Great. Thanks a lot, Derek. Thanks for walking through Matt's system for us.
I appreciate it. Thank you.
Rachel, what are you doing?
Oh my gosh. This is an incredible shower. I love the RVing community. They are so warm and welcoming that honestly, since Matt from Matt's RV Reviews left his trailer here, I don't think he'll mind if we just use it a little bit, right? I mean, I think that he would want that for us. So, I mean, if you leave your rig open, doesn't that mean that you're inviting other people to use it? Because people are just such great friends, you know, on the road. So, yeah, I took a quick shower because it can get kind of rough when you're boondocking, and the water pressure in his trailer is amazing. Oh my goodness, Matt was so right about this unit. Prime pooping position for sure. And thankfully it's his unit, so we got the liquefied and plenty of it, so I can make sure that, you know, I'm a nice guest and I like clean up after myself.
Did you seriously just use his toilet?
Well, I mean, it's here. Now I will say that if someone's gonna crash your trailer, you should have better snacks. I mean, Lunchables, really? What am I, 4 years old?
I don't think that he was planning on you crashing his trailer.
Well, I mean, you have to expect the unexpected. We just got done wrapping up RV Unplugged. Don't you know that maybe somebody's gonna, you know, come and want to use your unit if it's open? My gosh. But I do appreciate the water because I was pretty thirsty.
Oh, such a nice friend. Like, you're making the bed for them so that when they get back and pick up the RV, they can jump right in bed and go to sleep.
Well, I mean, they can just jump right in, but first I'm going to take a nap.
You're gonna take a nap in their RV?
Yeah, why do you think I'm putting the bedspread on?
I thought you were being a good friend and making the bed for them. I mean, after all, Matt was super smart and immediately put in a new mattress from BrooklynBedding.com.
Hello, yes, and I'm not going to let this RV mattress from Brooklyn Bedding go to waste. It's got the cool top. It's got the cool top feature. I'm gonna get first sleep on this thing. I think that that's what they would want for me.
I don't think that's what Matt meant with...
They're friends. I'm tired. They want the best for me. I know it. I'm gonna have to do a little bit of reading before I go to the nap. These blackout shades really do block out all the sun. This is gonna be perfect nap situation for me.
I still can't believe you're gonna go to sleep in the bed.
Look at this. Look how dark this got.
I mean, it is noon, and yet it is definitely blocking out all the light. In fact, the film is now getting all grainy, or the video is getting all grainy. So sorry about that, but evidently Rachel's going to take a nap in Matt's rig.
Well, I mean, I've got to, you know, pull the sheets down because I'm going to change my clothes into pajamas.
What are you doing?
Well, I'm not going to go to bed with my sneakers on. How rude would that be?
Oh, such a gracious friend. Like, at least you're not going to get in their brand new bed from Brooklyn Bedding, like, with your sneakers on.
No, I mean, these are clean. So, I mean, this is going to be much more cozy, nice little sock booties.
You're really going to do this?
I told you I am super tired. We had a ridiculous filming schedule with RV Unplugged Season 2. So, I mean, it takes a lot out of you. So, restorative sleep. We talk about it all the time on the Two Crazy Ketos channel.
I really can't believe that you are going to go to sleep in their RV. I don't even think they've had an opportunity to use it. I mean, they immediately brought it over here to Derek to put the solar in, and you're going to take the first sleep in their bed.
I think this is something that they would want for me. I mean, this is friends. Sharing is caring, right? And they're a very caring couple. Really, really appreciate you guys over at Matt's RV Reviews. Now it's time to get a little nap, and nobody can nap like Rachel. Thanks so much.
Oh, you're up.
Oh my gosh, was that relaxing.
Did you have a good rest?
I needed it. And it's in a clean camper. Eleanor is just kind of been filthy. I just needed some space to me time. I needed me time. So thanks, Matt, for letting me have me time in your rig.
This was really a great opportunity to just take a look at the Delta 262 RB from Alliance, because again, we've seen it at shows, but it's really nice when you see it on the road. And again, Matt has one of the very first ones. It's custom made, and I'll tell you this. If I was to get an Alliance Delta, Matt's got on here the one thing for me that I think is an absolute must. I know it's a more expensive option, but as somebody who loves being in a travel trailer and really doesn't want to be in a fifth wheel, one of the things that we forget to do sometimes is, like, we get to our site and we're so excited, we back up, we disconnect our Hensley hitch, and then we're like, oh crap, I forgot to like level it side to side. Well, Matt actually installed on here the auto leveling system, which is an option that you can put on all the Deltas. And so he has it on here. So it's nice to see like the whole system in action. And this really is a gorgeous RV. I am in love with the Alliance Delta line. I'm so glad that they ventured into the travel trailer line.
Well, I've really enjoyed it. And I mean, just getting to really know this rig intimately has been a really awesome from this couple to that couple. Thank you so much for letting us just explore the unit.
Yeah, and we had a good time, Matt.
Yeah.
Well, that is going to be the end of this video. Now, if you like seeing videos like this, please do us a favor. Hit that like button down below. It really does help build the channel. But more importantly, it lets us know what kind of videos you guys are looking to see.
Also, don't forget to hit the little subscribe button and also the little bell icon. And that way, every single time we stay in someone else's rig, you'll be learning to it.
Till next time,
happy camping.